Good afternoon, St. Louis, Missouri, San Francisco, California, Eugene, Oregon, Jackson, Mississippi, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Orlando, Florida, Detroit, Michigan, Denver, Colorado, Houston, Texas, oh my God, Indianapolis, Indiana, Topeka, Kansas, Hampton, Virginia, Atlanta, Georgia, Cincinnati, Ohio, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Montgomery, Alabama, and Nashville, Tennessee. And last of all, but least of all, is Kansas, Missouri, home of the three-time NFL Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Regular lunch with the Missouri Chamber Commerce Race, beautiful May 25th, Memorial Day weekend 2024. My name is Al Rocha, host and creator. Hello, Elder Alan Lyles. How you doing, Rev?
Fine.
And how's the family doing?
Fine.
And I know that everybody's going to miss you today, but I know you sound well. And Brother Scott, how are you doing, sir?
I'm too blessed to be stressed.
Well, you got your bike back and you had a beautiful time out in Denver. How was that?
We had a great time. There were 150 veterans who got together to show off their talents. We had a concert on Thursday. We had an art show and a creative writing show on Friday, and I'm blessed to be back safely. So.
Well, we'll talk more about that later in the program, and we begin John back Chucky more later on the program. But we're broadcasting live on Ferguson, USA, HotRadio.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and also we're broadcasting live from Woodson Church in North Counties and North St. Louis City, and also from Warner, Missouri. We said thank you for taking the media lunch with the Missouri Chamber of Commerce. A 40 election 2015. That's a long time to be us together here to celebrate this year, and also the every day. But right now we're going to have prayer with Elder Alan Lyles, who is the pastor of Waterloo Fourth Baptist Chapel Church, that's located in 5547 Leland Avenue. That's in North St. Louis, 63120. We honor to have it. Prayer with Elder Alan Lyles, who's the pastor of Waterloo Fourth Baptist Chapel Church, located at 5547 Leland Avenue. That's in North St. Louis, 63120. I was at 5574. You said 6120, right, Rip?
Yeah, 5547.
I said 47. I said that right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Pastor Alan Lyles, that's of course you get there, but he's located at Waterloo Fourth Baptist Church, located at 5547 Leland Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63120. And the voice you will get now will be that Elder Alan Lyles. Make the program, how you doing, sir?
Fine. Smile ahead. Heavenly Father, we thank you for waking us up this morning. You didn't have to, but you did. We thank you that everything is in your hand, and we're looking for wonderful fellowship with you this afternoon. And Heavenly Father, we just ask you to bless all the people in the universe, and they should be happy that you woke them up in Jesus' most precious name. Amen.
Amen, amen. So, Rev, what do you have for us today?
I, John, the 4th chapter.
1 John, the little John.
Yeah, 1 John. I, John. You call one I, John.
Okay.
1 John is considered as I, John.
All right, so we got I, John coming up here.
The 4th chapter. And this gonna be interesting.
Okay, sir.
And the first says the family. Part 2 is talk about the family in the world. Your biggest enemy is in your family.
Okay.
But everybody always talk about what we're gonna do in the world. God said, you're in the world, but love not the things that are in the world. He said, love him and the people. Because it started off saying, they love it. And love it means love. Believe not every spirit, but try the spirit whether they are of God. Because many false prophets are going out into the world. You need to know what a false prophet is when you're a approaches you or she approaches you.
Okay.
It says the marks of a false teacher and the false doctrine of Christ's persons. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God. That's how you know they're not a false prophet.
Okay.
And number 3, that every spirit that confesses not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God. And this is that spirit of the Antichrist, whereof you have heard that it should come, and even now already it is in the world.
Oh my God, yes.
Ye are of God. When you're born again, you are of God, little children, and have overcome them. Because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. He that's in the world is your false prophet, which is Satan. The whole world is talking about the system of Satan. They are of the world. Therefore speak they of the world, and the world feareth them. We are of God. He that knoweth God heareth us. He that is not of God heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God. And everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. And this was manifest the love of God toward us, because that God sent his only begotten Son into the world that we might live through him. Herein is love. Not that we love God, but that he loved us and sent his Son to be propitiation for our sin. Beloved, if God so loved us, we ought to also love one another. No man has seen God at any time. If we love one another, God dwelleth in us, and his love is perfect in us. Hereby know we that we dwell in him, and he in us, because he hath given us of his Spirit. And that's by believing the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. You're given his Spirit of love. And we have seen and do testify that the Father sent the Son to be the Savior of the world. Whoso shall confess that Jesus is the Son of God, God dwell in him, and he in God. And we have known and believed the love that God had to us. God is love. And he that dwelleth in love, dwelleth in God, and God in him. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in this world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear had torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. We love him because he first loved us. If a man say, I love God, and hate his brother, he is a liar. But he that loveth not his brother, whom he has seen, how can he love God, whom he had not seen?
Amen.
And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God, loveth his brother also. Amen.
misinformation, and so many people are dying because of misinformation. So people going out shooting people, so I could wrong somebody, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody told me something wrong, or I did not mean it. I didn't mean to do it. Well, by that time my life is gone, and you can't just say, hey, come back here, and I just notice here in St. Louis, in the St. Metropolitan area, and around the whole country, we're seeing more young people, that's killing each other. That's just unreal. As you read every day, you read your papers, you get this news, you hear about somebody, they killed somebody, and normally they're in their teens, it's not a thing in the past where they were like older people killing each other. You say those are some old fools, okay? But now these are young people doing that, and they don't even love each other, real. They don't love themselves.
Yep. This is why God said that we must believe the gospel to get love in us. Because we do all, as a human being, you only know how to do good and evil.
Right.
But your good that you think you're doing ain't no good, because it said there's none good, no, not one. All that sin and come short of the glory of God. So you can't do nothing good. You can only do something good is when you're in the Lord Jesus Christ by believing the gospel, his death, burial, and resurrection. Then you're following the instruction of the Holy Spirit, teaching you how to show love one toward another in another. Whether somebody show you love or not, you should show them that.
Really, I guess in this chapter, in the fourth chapter here in 1 John, First John here, it's actually telling us, believe in what he's showing us, okay? And he broke it down so many ways that you can't say, well, I did not understand. And he said, and in the spirit that confesses that Jesus is come in the flesh, not of God. That's why we got all these, like you said, false prophets all over the place. Amen. Like that. All week, okay, all month, we've been intimidated with people telling lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies, and you got to cipher now to get the truth. You can't just take somebody's words. Oh, he's telling the truth now. Even there's more misinformation, disinformation, or false information, anything you want to call it, that's out there nowadays. And that's not good for the whole team.
Yep. It's so important that a person become a child of God. Because when you came in the world, you came a sinner. You were dead in trespasses and sin. But while you're in the world, you need to come out of that sin. I believe in the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And you're no longer dead in trespasses and sin. You become a child of God. I believe.
Yeah, you have to believe.
If you don't believe, you're going to hell. It's just that simple. Person, I don't know where I'm going. I hope I go to heaven. If you hope you're going to heaven, you still ain't going to heaven because you hoping. You're supposed to know you're going to heaven. And you know by believing the gospel. It said if our gospel be hid, it's hid to them that love. That's why the people be hoping they're going to heaven. But if you believe the gospel, you know you're going to heaven. You know Christ died for your sin, was buried and rose again over 2,024 years ago. If you believe that, heaven is your home.
For real, I think nowadays, you see a lot of churches, who have more young people now joining church, and a lot of them, okay, when they join, they bring their parents to church. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I do know nowadays that the idea also is that most people working 2 or 3 jobs. Okay, in some cases you got 2 parents working 2 jobs. It's just that kind of world we live in nowadays. Things are just are more expensive than ever before, and we don't take time, okay, we have to look at. It's not just that things that what's taking place. There are more options now than ever before. we could go to. Rev, you got a restaurant almost on every corner nowadays. Well, that's not true. Not in our true.
You know something, that's changing though.
It changed. It changed.
Yeah, the world is waxing worse and worse. And the reason why the world is waxing worse and worse, because time is winding up.
Okay.
And people, when you go to the grocery store to buy something, you get a lot of arguing. Everywhere you go, somebody arguing at the grocery store. You don't want to stand that long because you're afraid they're going to shoot. Every grocery store that can afford it got security there to keep that noise and nonsense down. And when there's no security in the place, the people's acting the fool. They arguing. You know, you see that, and when you see, I hear out it, when I get ready to go in the store and they arguing back, I do a reverse turn and leave out there because you don't know what's going to happen.
Wow, Rev, we got to talk about that in a few minutes, okay? That's one thing I was going to talk about. As we look at this new world we talk about in, okay, it's not as ideal as we thought it would be, or used to be, but right now, the one thing, okay, that has not changed is his unfailing word. That he calls us in the same thing here. This was decades, this is not only decades, this was centuries ago, that this was handed down to us. What God is saying here, the message we get here, okay, is you gotta have a spirit that's out there. You gotta look, be more careful now so than ever before. Because spirits, the bad spirits are all over the place. All over the place. And then we got to pray more than ever before. And, you know, and make ourselves available to God. And because He's looking for us all the time. And so, you know, you have to find Him, okay? You know, He's always in the same spot, waiting for you, okay, to find Him. And He's not a moving target at all. Thank God for that. Am I right, Rev?
Amen.
Rev, we want to thank you for that. And again, that's 1 John 4th chapter, and this talk about the spirits that's out there, and this talks about a little bit big spirits, but something that you should get a chance to read. You listen to Ferguson, you're gonna say, go ahead, Rev, what you gonna say?
That's why he said, love about the world, these are the things that are in the world. And the things that are in the world is the witness of Satan and his demon and his whole system. From the president on down is wicked.
Oh yeah, well, Rev, the system itself, okay, it's oh my God. We talk about that.
Belongs to Satan. That's why I said don't love him. Satan is the God of this world.
Yeah, Rev, we will talk about that as we get into the program. But right now, this is a Ferguson USA Hot Talk Radio.com on a beautiful Memorial Day weekend. That's El Dado Loud. My name is Howard Prozess Scott. And on that note, Scott, take it out of here. Memorial Day. It's a federal holiday that was held the last Monday in May. So again, this goes back for years and years, back to the 1868. But during that time, this is the day that's dedicated, an annual day to mourn and honor its deceased servicemen and women. It's to honor the deceased men and women who have paid the price in fighting for our country. And I mean, people have gone on, so we want to honor those people there. We thank you for all the ones that's going to war now, in the war now, but we thank you so much for the ones that have passed on. Originally called Decoration Day at the time to decorate the graves of the war dead and put flowers on there. I know as a kid, I grew up in Vicksburg every Memorial Day weekend. I would be in the cemetery with my flowers and my flag to put on my father's grave, because he was buried there. He fought in World War I. So again, that's a tradition that's gone on for years and years and years and years and years. Okay, so right now, and it's a time to decorate the grave. It was formalized by a Memorial Day order issued by the Grand Army of the Republic, Commanding Chief John A. Logan in 1868. So we thank all of those people, their family members, as you mourn, and as you just kind of keep in mind that a lot of people have died. I can't just say what war, any war, any war, Vietnam War. In all the Afghanistan wars, we have had so many wars that they can face in the recent years. We ask you to pray for all those family members, who are now without their loved ones. So we thank you so much for this day. And so come Monday, please celebrate and respect that. And as we have American flag, put it up, okay? Because that's honor the dead, the one that passed on. This has been an interesting week, okay? Because as we have had tornadoes sweeping across the country, I mean, we have had a lot of activity in the St. Louis area. But I know from Texas, all across the country, they call it Tornado Alley, which was normally, around the Texas area, Oklahoma, Kansas, where you have the flat land. Well, now those tornadoes have moved east now, and like I said, I know here in St. Louis, we are in a new tornado alley, so to speak, because we have had all the rain that we wanted to have for a while. We always in a drought. Well, unfortunately, we got a lot of good rain now. The farmers are happy and too happy, but now we're about to hear this coming up next. All the rain we got as the tornadoes are hitting, even this weekend. As you're out and about, please watch the skies. So when it starts getting real dark, okay, that's a sign. And you see the lightning, the thunder, I should say, and then you see the lightning and stuff, you should go head for cover. And don't get up under trees, nothing like that. And if you don't have anything in your hand, a lightning does strike. It happens on occasion, so don't make sure you're the person that fool. Guess what? But right now, as you go to the beaches and as you celebrate, please be aware of the Midwest. Now, the tornadoes are now heading to the East Coast. And so it's not just in the past, that's one area, but as our climates have changed, and now as we're dealing with these tornadoes and people like in Texas, oh my God, down in Houston, in Iowa, we had people got killed down there, and also, at least 4 people were killed, in Iowa, and 35 were injured in the tornadoes through that state, and right now, as we're dealing with these, the East Coast now is coming up now with the tornadoes are now hitting, in the southeast, down in Georgia, and down in Alabama, in the Carolinas, and also so far, we have had. They're saying this is going to be the most active tornado season that we have that we're on track to have more. We had more last year than we had before. And so this year we're going to have more than we had last year. But right now we're on track to land between much aware of. And also, because of the weather, the heat wave is about to return. And so, this time, last year we talked about the heat wave. Well, the heat is about to return. So we're going to miss the rain, but right now the heat is starting to come back. So that's something that we need to be aware of. And as you go out, please be aware. And you don't have to be white to have put on sunscreen, or you will be burned. And then that's something to be very much be aware of. And also, as we get into the middle of the year, get ready for summer, there's a lot of old business that's being settled, like down now in the state of Texas, in Uvalde, where you had 19 students were killed, a lot of other staff members down there. Well, right now, the 19 people, 19 of the victims are suing the state police officers behind patrol for over $500 million. And this is a federal lawsuit, against almost 100 of those. And this took place, you forgot, where these officers were all around the school. It's like something like a cartoon, but all they had to do was open the door. And while this was going on, these men were all afraid to go in. So now, they're probably out of lawsuits have been filed. They have already agreed, the national parents with the city itself, the leaders, to a $2 million lawsuit and a promise for higher education. And also another lawsuit that's kind of coming down the pipe. That's, as we recall, Vesquio in East Palestine. Then we had a situation there where the rail cars overturned in the Norfolk Railroad, the rail in Eastern Ohio, but many of those people, they're going to settle for $600 million in a class action lawsuit. But now the people are wondering now how much of that money will they see, because some people have filed their own lawsuit, which they should have. So that's all the political turmoil that Rev is talking about that's going on. And also another lawsuit that you don't hear a lot about, okay, but you will eventually in the new time about AI. Well, last year a political consultant who sent AI generated robocalls mimicking President Joe Biden last year in the New Hampshire primary. And as a matter of fact, it sounded like Joe Biden they paid it. But guess what? He faces a $6 million fine and over 2,400 criminal charges. And the funny part about this gentleman, Stephen Kramer, is the first, and this company, Linco Telecom, also facing $2 million fine. And what he did, his company went down to New Orleans and found a musician down there, paid him $150 to mimic the recording for Joe Biden. Well, that's why you can't go out there and do all these sneaky things now. One of the things it will catch up with you in technology. And also one of the things you hear a lot about, and I think it's well overdue, that the Justice Department has filed a lawsuit. And it's also not just the Justice Department by itself, a lot of attorney generals around the country. And this is against the parent company, Ticketmasters, buying tickets. I know in years gone by, I worked with Real Sports here in St. Louis, and we pretty much had most of the tickets for most of the concerts, that they came down. We had tickets for, and it was a simple process, tickets. Nothing was over $100-something in those days. Okay, that was rare. And I do recall one history for you that when Michael Jackson came over with a tour coming up, and that's when all the football stadium owners in the country, and we had a team back in those days, colluded together to have the concerts in their parks, and they decided they want to be the one that would have the tickets. Well, they're starting what is now a major problem, because now Live Nation, which is the parent company of Ticketmasters, they have, and you said, well, I don't understand. every Sunday. And anytime these same artists now that you're saying, I do not believe this. And the bad part about this, people understand is most of the artists do not get it on the money. I mean, they're still the least paid in these situations like this. So right now, this also seeks the structure, how the company operates, and also if you break it up the company, this is something like an entity that's got too big. It has no competition. You know what I mean? And next thing it dictates, entertainment is the biggest part of most people out nowadays. It's so unfortunate that entertainment has gotten down to this. And I think Taylor Swift concert that they bought it up a couple of years ago where their system couldn't do it. There was a time you could get in line and get a ticket real. Well, even the ballparks you can get in line now. Some days you get tickets down there, but they all prefer it now that you do it online. Well, those are a lot of jobs right there that just got totally wiped out. When you had the people handling the tickets, they were printing tickets. Well, all this done, you get a ticket down, you can tear a piece of paper and then use it on your telephone. So they're going more and more and more and more away, which allows more corruption to take place at the end of the day.
Yeah. Is that something else, Howard?
Yes, sir.
When they take control of everything like that, that's making it where the system is making the money, not the people.
Right.
Usually was free enterprise, was no more free enterprise. Anything the city the system get their hand in, they gonna make money from it. They gonna charge you more money for it.
Wherever, and also, it's ironic that this is that you're saying that because back in the days, you had ticket places. You can buy tickets all around the country. In every city and company, you had these 2 or 3. These were jobs, okay, that you would stand in line someplace. You go down to buy your tickets and stuff. And nowadays, if they announce a concert someplace, the tickets are gone in next day. Online, so you get a chance. And so everybody is not, doesn't have credit cards. So you have a credit card. Matter of fact, we have here in St. Louis this weekend. We have different celebrations here in St. Louis in Forest Park, which is our biggest park. We have African celebration every year. Been going on for 30-some years. How long it is now? Out at the pavilion in Forest Park, where all of the stores, the artists perform African heritage there. If you want to get some cloth, you want to get some artifacts. You want to get some African materials. Pieces for your wall. Well, they're all there, and they're all legitimate business. You got hand on hand doing business. Okay, dollars are changing hands, but now that's called free enterprise. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And people actually doing business with each other, and they kind of and they enjoying themselves. Now, not further away from there, not in the county, they have another big festival that's taking place. Well, this is going on for years also. But now they're saying to people, you can come to a festival, but don't bring cash money no more. Bring your credit card. And so now, they're taking money out of this more and more and more and more here. And this has been, everybody go to concerts and they go different venues now, and they don't want your money. They want you to have a credit card. And also you got to have good credit to get a credit card. You go by your credit score. So this is kind of creating some situations here. And something you said a few minutes ago that kind of touched my heart. And you go to most stores, and people, arguing with the cashiers. If you're in line, you're not quite sure when somebody takes a flare up, and it's not, that you can do anything because the stores, some have security, some don't have enough security. And that's the thing nowadays that's become more and more than ever before. And also, when you go to most of these stores, you see the people, there's security there at the front door, watching the front door of the store. But most of them on their telephones, really, most of the time. And and they're not watching who coming and going. So again, that's why we're in a system right now that we have so many things going on that's not right. There's been a lot of problems as you come in and go. But now, as I was saying about the concerts, it has to break up. You got two big live nations. So right now, it doesn't allow the artists themselves to be involved. That's why you had the fight with the screenwriters. We talked about that going on last year. But in Hollywood, where they had to start making movies and stuff, because they were using AI to take money from people, their livelihood. So that's why I said there's a lot of things transition here. And also, we need to make sure that we're also doing the right thing. And also, one of the things that FDIC, now this is, everybody knows all this older banking stuff, but that's a gentleman named Mark Bushman, who's the chairman, of the FDIC. He's sitting down, there's a topic workplace culture in that office there. Now, this is at the top of the EPO case. They've been investigated by the state, United States Senate Banking Committee. So right now, that is something that's taking place. Now, some good news. We had discussed this about some good news time now. It's about the bad stuff. And talk about it out there. People don't want to make it. So we got to tell the God's truth. The good news, the ship that was in the Baltimore harbor that ran into the Philadelphia bridge field down where right now that Francis Scott Bay River is now clean and the challenge is now fully restored. And it's now back to where ships can come and go, and cargo can be going out, and cargo can coming in. As we talked where the farmers will be hit hard, a lot of cars and stuff were backed up, and we are sort of affected in our grocery stores. But now, speaking of that, we're looking at the investigations are starting to take place now in the oil industry, where the gas prices are now stuck high, getting higher and higher, because right now the gas, we normally have this discussion before, but now we have it now with all the major gas companies got together, and they decided, again, like the ticket master, keep prices high. And the stock market right now, people are aware, is that it's all-time high. It is all-time high. Continue to make money. And corporations are all making money, so they all do very well. Now, also on the good news side, the Biden administration has a bill to approve $7.7 billion for student loan forgiveness. And this is going to affect those 150,000 people. And what this means is people have student loans that go back years and years and years and years. And this follows a person trying to get good credit, trying to buy a house, trying to do things. They just got they're paying now. They get a reason for the loan back in those days. Now, this is not just something that just took place now, okay? So far, the Biden administration has given $167 billion in loans. This affects over 4.75 million people. So this is some good news for people now. That's something that off your credit report that you got to know what you got to apply for. Then they give it to you, but they want to make sure they get it to the right person. And that's always good. Also in Gaza, this is some good news here, okay? Egypt has agreed to send humanitarian aid trucks for eventually remain crossing into Gaza. But it remains unclear whether Israel will allow the aid to come to get to the people. Because now, as we know, there's a lot of fighting in the Middle East there in Gaza. I don't know how many more people you can kill. And all these people that are being killed are the young people. They're going to kill most people are being killed there. But very few people are over the age of 50 over there in this Gaza war. And so we also need, I said before, it's time for a ceasefire. It's time for a sit down. Now, also you're hearing, saying what this means now. International courts now are all starting to put the Prime Minister, Netanyahu, on this, similar to what they did with the Prime Minister of Russia, Vladimir Putin. You'll see so many people, unfortunately, that's not a good thing, but now there's a thing called world courts. The international courts right now have said that Netanyahu cannot travel because they're going to arrest him. They're going to arrest him. Now, I do not agree with President Joe Biden and something said that he should be on that list. Well, to me, these people are dying unnecessarily. The starvation shouldn't be for no one. I mean, especially when people trying to get food to you, you want to allow the food to come in. That is not a good thing to do. And also affects yes, in so many ways. Okay. Then also on Friday, a handful of people are lined up on Tuesday. Sure how our country is now trying to get things in here. On Friday, yesterday, they're supposed to get ready for the holidays in our country, even in Washington D.C. right now, are lined up for the first trials that will take place starting against Tuesday, where they're about to go to the jury. And this is something that's dominated the news. And I don't want to just come up with President Donald Trump, our former president, has been accused of, and really, if you listen to all this thing going on, but see, this has done people. It has dominated all the news. And that's what I know you're probably tired of it, okay? But right now, the world still goes on. Because our people right now are ready to get in the land for the trial. And we ask you, ourselves, please, what you can do is go out and register to vote where you live at. Because most politics are all local, okay? This is something, okay, that's going to take place no matter what. But right now, we need to make sure that you vote, that you're registered to vote, and that you continue to move forward. And also, some good news. Put this on your calendars, please. Right now, June the 27th, next month, almost a month from now, they will have their first debate. President Joe Biden and Donald Trump will debate on CNN. So put this on your calendar. Both presidents, candidates have agreed to be there, and that's going to be very interesting. And also on the good news tip, in June the 8th in Kansas, Missouri, one of our members there, Pat Clark, and the Oak Park Neighborhood Association will be hosting a football camp called Dream Big Youth Camp, and this is with the Kansas City Chiefs, where they're coming into the community and bringing some of their football players down there to work with the young folks. And this is so important that we can show them they can continue to dream big. And we're excited about this. And also, we want people aware that on June 22nd in Ferguson, Missouri, at the January Wabash Park, we will continue to have an hour before fishing derby. You can come out there and you have fishing poles waiting for you. We have bait waiting for you. All you gotta bring your kids out, and they're talking about 4 to 16 years of age, so you can come out there and learn how to fish. And also, one last thing two things on the bad news tip. The Riverfront Times in St. Louis, for the last 46 years, I got my copy this past week. The final edition of the Riverfront Times has now been shut down. And that's a weekly newspaper that goes out and talk about a lot of things that normal people don't talk about. Investigative, thanks for the arts. Well, they shut down without notice. I think I knew on it, and you just shut the whole thing down, bad news. And I said before, in St. Louis here, in the St. Louis area, I know where you are, carjacking and murders continue to increase. Although they are programmed, they're trying to get together to do those things, they can continue. But right now, we want to say thank you for joining the lunch with the Missouri Chamber of Commerce for beautiful May the 25th, 2024. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Thank you for my name's Aaron, folks. That's Scott. That's Elder Out Loud. And we will be right back with our very special guest. Right there.
your fathers,
are still here. And they used to stay in the old home, the old homestead. But now they're being forced out of there because they want to build something, where your house is, and you're being forced out.
That's right. Some of our communities that we used to know a long time ago, we don't even recognize them anymore because they have changed due to construction.
Well, Rick, as you know, one of the things that in our country as a whole, okay, and especially in the black community, our neighborhoods are the first to go, and they call it all for the good of improvements in the neighborhood. I mean, most in downtown St. Louis, where we have our stadium at, okay, that used to be all part of the Mill Creek area, where with the black population. We talk about Wall Street in the back Wall Street out in Tulsa, but all around the country, as you just said, when these things come through, okay, they could get out of their homes, and what it means, somebody end up going to a nursing home someplace.
That's right. That is so right.
Holidays, maybe they're there, but let me say one more thing, and I'll shut up here. You have done your mission. Since I've known you, you have helped the young, the old, and everybody in between, Brother Brown, and I thank you so much.
Well, that's our job. That's our job. It's not. We don't even have a choice, and it's certainly something that is definitely needed, and it's needed by everyone.
Amen.
Well, Reverend Brown, that's what the Missouri Chamber of Commerce, our mission, is to work with the business community, but our black business owners, especially in the St. Louis area, they find it hard to exist. Sometimes, you have black business owners fighting with their black community, themselves, trying to run them out of business, do things, okay, to rob them, the business that they're going to rob them in the middle of the night, okay, and it's a hard thing to do nowadays,
No question about it. No question about it. As a matter of fact, many of the things that we were told as youth about copying to be successful, we find out that now that we're adults and having lived, that is not true at all. Those recommendations are recommendations of people that are basically incomplete. Who grew up
totally incomplete. You say incomplete. And bring it down for us.
They talked about the American dream. When we were kids, that included getting a decent job, working, and trying to own a house, and maybe a car later, and then you will have a rise. We now know that is not true, and it is more difficult to own a house these days than it was then, and it was difficult then because we didn't have any income. I remember graduating from high school and from college, become a teacher. Sumner High School, yes, and Harris Teachers College. I became a teacher, and my first annual check, teachers were then making $5,025 a year, a whole year, and that was a position of prestige. My, how things have changed.
Wow. Larry, Reverend Brown, unfortunately, right now here in the state of Missouri, okay, we have some of the lowest paid. We have the lowest paid teachers in the country, and they just got a raise. But before that, they were making making $25,000 a year. $25,000 a year, and they trying to take you to their homes, get to work every day. And then still come to class every day, and then teaching nowadays is not the same as it was in those days. Let's talk about that, okay? That for the money that you were being paid then, you could survive. Matter of fact, you could do anything.
Well, back in those days, we respected our teachers. We called them Mr. and Mrs. We respected preachers. We respected several other occupations. And now we don't have any respect for anybody because we realize it was all a myth and it was all not true. What the reality was in trying to stay alive and survive in the United States, you got to have money.
Reverend Brown, first I heard somebody put it when it was a myth. I know one of the things that would advocate was get you a college education. And you could get in most schools they would give you a loan to go to college. Well, that in itself was something that come back to haunt you in years as you went forward. Because even today, I just mentioned the program earlier about the people right now who are stuck with no student debt. That may have been $4,000 or $5,000 back then, and it's grown to $100,000 for interest that they become compounded. And that's but that was a myth. Okay, get you a college education, and now you get that education, you can't get a job in your profession.
That's right. Now it's very interesting right now that a lot of the people who've had what we would call low skill jobs or skilled jobs are in demand now in the construction industry, in the repair industry, in the help fix up industry, and you don't have to go to college for 4 years in order to become skilled in those areas, and they are now paying decent dollars.
Well, I recall when I first met you, I guess in the 70s, I want to say, that when you created the National Field Training Center out in St. George County. And you saw now when I say National Cable Training Center, now this is where people knew what cable was. And those people there was jobs were created. I was out there with you. I was doing something recruiting and working with you also. That what we did, we created a whole new generation of people or trade that's now is high in demand, like you just said. Everybody wants somebody that knows something about telecommunication.
No question about it. And as things develop, this AI, artificial intelligence, is going to require more and more of that particular kind of skill. And you don't have to go to college in order to do so. But we still need people going to college. But
yes, we do.
Job opportunities are more vicarious and plentiful than they were back in the day.
Yeah, Brown, and I'm glad that we kind of talk around this, okay? But one of the most important things that have taken place this past week, we celebrated Brown versus Brown, which was the court case that the late Thurgood Marshall, actually, get through to the Supreme Court in those days. And in doing that, the Brown versus Brown education, he created the law that said everybody could go to school and get a good education, no matter what college.
Yeah, that was the Brown versus Ford in Topeka, Kansas.
Yeah, right.
And my daughter attended the schools there.
Right.
For the last 5 to 6 years. As a matter of fact, she just completed a book that talks about building parent capacity for high poverty schools.
As a matter of fact, okay, she was just featured this week, okay, on CBS News, as a leader, which she is, in the Topeka, Kansas school district, where she was also last year, this present year, she sat down as a teacher, superintendent of the year.
Oh yeah.
And so tell us
things up there. Right.
Tell us a little bit about your daughter. Tell us a little bit about some of the things that you can. There was a next generation that she was able to do in doing things. As a matter of fact, she's on our program. I want to say a couple of years last year. I remember she was right. I recall she was saying the thing that motivated her along with her sister was they watched what Larry did, and they all felt that he was doing the right thing. They would be like Larry, whatever Larry Brown. So now we have Larry Brown, the patriot of the family.
One thing is for sure, we have to respect everybody, and if you see somebody that you respect, they will know it on how you treat them and how you recognize their inability to compete. For instance, people who are homeless, people who are hungry, people who are in that category have fewer clothes, have no money, often are hungry because they haven't eaten recently. So if you don't minister to those needs, there's no point in you ministering to any other needs because they all go hand in hand. So one of the things that she's done in Topeka, Kansas is opened up thrift stores and food, homeless apartments for families to move into, food for the hungry, and all of the kind of things that make a person whole. You know, it's kind of interesting. A long time ago, a friend of mine was the director of Afro Studies for Washington University. When he did this, he came up with the Chitlin test, which was done under the concept that a lot of people a lot of minorities in particular don't do well on testing because of the inexperiences they've had with some of the questions, or with some of the questions asked, or with some of the words used. And the same thing had nothing to do with native intelligence. They have the ability to learn, but their experience factor makes a difference. And sure enough, white people were failing that test, party going on. They would surpass the black in the regular testing community.
That was the end. Fast forward that to now. Do the comparison of how things different now than were then.
What we're seeing now, even with Brown versus the board, if you recall, there was a lot of resistance to it.
Mm-hmm.
They even had to bring in the state troopers from time to time to escort young black people to school. But what we're noticing now is that there still is an existence of difference, and a lot of that is because white people have more money and more access to funds. And schools that have more access to funds provide their students with more. So I don't know if you can ever win that particular argument, but to have the right to go to that school that has all the resources is important as can be.
Well, you know, Reverend Brown, another thing about that, okay, is now you and I both know that they created a thing called charter schools. And previously, in years gone by, the state that you lived in would put aside money, for public education. And there was the benefits, of the Brown versus, the Brown decision. And so now you have in the charter schools previously were private schools now are taking money now away from the public school system because Because right now, most public school systems now are within the inner cities now, and they're taking that away from those people, young people now, and the underserved people who are down in the inner cities.
Well, that's why we've come up with this concept. Public school systems are now an institution across the country, and they're an institution that every young person becoming an adult has a right to attend. The separate but equal doctrine was a part of that, but even now we have so many other distractions in the community that it's difficult for a young person who has completed high school to become a successful adult. Number one, we've got to show them that they're cared for, that they're respected, that they're needed. They have to feel that. They have to feel a responsibility to the community. They have to decide what part of the community or home that they're going to change in a very, very positive way. So that, and then they have to be matched with adults who can help them from the time they become high schoolers to adults, because there's a big gap there when a young person is supposed to choose and do the right thing. It's a big gap. There's so many choices that a person can make, most of which, or many of which, are not good, as you very well know. But then, if we can marry the young person with those who are interested in their future, interested in the same things that they're interested in, work-wise, interested in making them successful, helping them to solve whatever problems they may have individually, whatever problems may exist in the family, I think will be really, really good for the future. And the public school system has the funds, because funding now is available through the government, through the state, through the local board, the local community. So there's an annual budget that these schools operate on. And we're trying to convince them that it's equally important to spend some of those dollars towards making sure that these young people become successful adults.
You know, Reverend Brown, one of the things that we talk about is how low the people in the state of Missouri, teachers, actually, this is not much in the rural areas of the state. But one thing I can say that here in the metropolitan area, James School District has been one of the highest paying districts in the area for many, many years. You know, and they have produced a lot of good programs that are going on to help these students. So be equipped with the things in life that's not always continuing education in a traditional institution like a college, but also in some of the trade schools and things like that. I think the idea is to be prepared for them to be able to go to work and feed their families. And that's what school is all about.
No question about it. Back when we were kids, one of the problems was getting in the front door, because the good old boy system was operating so heavily. Right now, the good old boy system is disappearing, because the good old boys are old now and are disappearing. And so that leaves a void in those industries where the good old boys used to maintain the good jobs. So there's an opportunity for us. One thing is for sure, education is important. And where there are the tools that are added to the traditional education experience, the tools that are necessary to free one's mind up so one can really learn the educational materials is equally important as the educational material for themselves.
And also, Reverend Brown, one of the things that we don't do as much as we should do. You mentioned early on that when you got out of college, okay, you went to Harrisville Teachers College, but now it's Harrisville University. You had to move forward. But you get out of school as a teacher, okay, you was respected in the community as a person that we all looked up to. They said, oh, that's Reverend Brown, Mr. Brown. He's a teacher. What school did you teach at, Reverend Brown, when you started out?
Well, I started off at Marshall School in the 4th grade. And it's really kind of interesting because, as you know, when you're in teacher's college, you spend one semester, it's a 4.5 year, as opposed to a 4 year to get your degree. It's 4.5 years, and a half year is spent what they call practice teaching. And I was fortunate enough to do some practice teaching at couple school, which I attended in the 5th grade. But even then, I was practice teaching at Couples and Kennard, which was all white. And Kennard just recently became one of these high-powered schools with all of the equipment and everything. It's on the south side, and Couples is now closed. Right, service the black community.
Also, one of the things that's really good this year, here in St. Charles area, which is metropolitan St. Louis, the city up there, which is, pretty much, is a affluent community nowadays. Most people live in the city of St. Louis, and going to St. Charles County because their population has increased, while St. Louis population has decreased. But in saying that, in the recent weeks, there's been a little debate going on that the St. Charles library system was to close 3 libraries. Now, in closing this, okay, the board had to decide to do this. And one of the things that people not listen to them, they saying they want to sell the land where the libraries are located, to the developer. And so now they are trying to take away, our school books, but everybody can go to the library someplace, and get education. Libraries, something that I grew up in the library. That was a place I could go and be safe, okay, and get educated at the same time. And nowadays, it's more important than ever before. They had that environment, am I right?
Right. And the library offers the opportunity for the poor person to visit some of these places that they never can go to directly, and to learn how other people live, and to learn about other countries. And it's a very, very interesting and safe place to be. There needs to be more
libraries. And I find it kind of ironic, okay, that St. Charles County is growing. That you would think that they will build more libraries, but now the board of directors now, this is ironic that we got into this, but in the school system nowadays, you're now having that teachers cannot get enough help, okay, in the time period that they have the students have no in class, because they have so many different things to deal with, okay. And the library is the one thing that their support system, no matter where you're in the school system.
Yeah, no question about it. There's not to be more variety. Available to young people.
Another thing, Reverend Brown, as we kind of talk education, let's talk in the business world a bit now as we look at our Los Angeles business community, we are probably under assault more so than here in Missouri than most places. Would you agree?
Well, yeah, primarily because the focus before was on minority business development. Now the focus has disappeared. And part of that is due to the fact that they discovered that some of the people posing to get the minority money were actually female, were actually whites who put blacks up to get the money, and but the whites controlled it and the growth. And so we still are working on the first generation reproducible and savable cash, investable cash, and now it's become more and more difficult.
Another thing, Reverend Brown.
Yes, man, that doesn't work.
Another thing, okay, that during the Trump administration, he declared an emergency, okay, some years ago, and when they did, that meant most of the laws, okay, that were on the books could be changed. And the one law that was changed, okay, that affected the black communities the most was that most people, the minority programs that was affected black folks, that we kind of mastered, so to speak. We became the stepping stone for the gay industry. They have all got what they wanted for themselves, and the blacks, okay, and going in the opposite direction. That's what getting benefits.
That's true. To contrast that with today's opportunities, the opportunities are so many that it's enough for everybody to do well.
Well, and I guess the thing about it, Reverend Brown, is as we prepare our young people, okay, to position themselves, because now, fortunately, our young people right now are probably more distracted than ever before. Once they leave the school, okay, they're under attack now. From outside, the Reverend Alonzo said that the devil is busy all the time. The fights in the schools nowadays, where the teachers are being attacked, where the students are now being attacked. So now, with them being afforded all those opportunities, it's kind of hard, okay, for them to be focused right now and get those opportunities, would you say?
Oh, no question about it. For a kid to go, or for a parent to send a kid to school and wondering if somebody else there has a gun, or if somebody has some negative intentions that particular day. We're seeing more and more of that. But again, the solution is to make everybody feel that they are important, that they're desired, that they're respected, and that we're counting on them to be successful in a very, very positive way. And we've seen it happen in school systems where my daughter has been superintendent of Jennett School in St. Louis, Missouri area. The school that she's at now in Toledo, Ohio.
She's a superintendent. She's the superintendent. Let's make a distinction. She's the superintendent of the whole school district out there, and she was in Jennett also.
Yeah, superintendent of the whole school, and we've noticed that where attention is given to the individual needs of the person, you go to their funerals, you go to their special occasions, it's important, and that person will want to do well and want to be successful and want to be positive.
You know, remember, Brown, one of the things that the teacher, and we keep coming back to the teacher here at the swell board, especially during this the Brown versus the board, that the teacher has become more of a factor in a person's life than ever before. Because like we just mentioned, okay, there are funerals they go to nowadays. I mean, there's counseling they must do. There's less things that they can get done, in the home now, and the teachers now have to fill that void. When kids come in, I think one of the things that we all know that the creation of meals, in the classrooms has been a very, very big program that the government has now. When a lot of kids came to school, they were hungry. And they now can get their breakfast meals at school now, and the other meals. But I don't care who you are, you can't do no studying if you're hungry.
That's right.
And so those are the programs, that have been created, and I think one of the things that your daughter, as a superintendent in Topeka, the program that she did, she kind of was like a holistic, okay, everything that a student needs to exist, and not just when they in the school walls, but when they leave there, like you said, like there they have they have no pantries because they will get food after school for the whole family, where they need decent housing. But a lot of the time, the kids move from district to district because they got to keep moving. The parents got to keep moving. Because sometimes, the parents not, can't maintain a job, in the same school district sometimes.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, she has this book coming out this month called, I think, Building Parent Capacity to High Poverty.
Well, you got to see that too. You got to see that 2 more times.
Building my parent capacity for high poverty schools from authentic input. In other words, the things that she's done.
You got to say it 1 more time, Larry. You got to say it 3 times.
Okay, the things that she has done.
No, the name of the book. The name of the book.
Prove it. The name of the book is Build My Parent Capacity for High Poverty Schools for Authentic Impact. The things she's done already, she's been able to prove without a shadow of doubt that they work, because the schools are thriving that she has been at. Right. That's superintendent. It's right. The kids are scoring higher, more of them are completing, more of them are doing positive things, more of them are engaged in extracurricular activities. It's just a very, very pleasant experience.
But not only that, you can see the results, of what she's in real time.
Exactly.
Because there was a time that we had to sit back and wait a year, about 4 or 5 years, to see if this actually worked, what she was actually doing. But now you're seeing the actual results right now. Sometimes we will run, a couple of months time, you see successful results from our programs.
Oh, no question about it. As a matter of fact, before we even have to hope and pray that positive results occurred.
Right, and they already occurred.
And they're already occurring now.
Because nowadays, the thing that most young people need is a thing called attention. And let somebody know that they care about them, that someone loves them. And appreciation, the thing that I have done similar to you, Larry, is all of my life, I have a simple philosophy, okay, if you see somebody that's bleeding, okay, give them a Band-Aid. the blessings in
Yeah.
the future by helping people right now. When we see somebody like you, Reverend Brown, about when you see somebody on the side of the road, the Bible tells you that it's a parable, it's a story. That is, no, it's a truth where Christ was walking. And they gave a parable about the man on the side of the highway. But the preacher went by, all the people who had money went by, and the man that they had very little, he stopped and put the man up and took care of him.
Yeah.
And those are things that are still true today.
Well, you mentioned Mr. Thurgood Marshall earlier, Judge Thurgood Marshall earlier,
Yes.
who became the first black judge on the Supreme Court. But at any rate, and he was involved in the Brown versus Ford decision when he worked for NAACP at the particular time. But you recall him saying, "Keep the faith, baby."
Yeah.
They used to attribute that model to him. Well, there was this lady named Faith who said, "Keep the baby, Faith." And she was signing her name Faith. Keep the baby. You know, so it's one thing to have empathy. It's another thing to have sympathy. You know, sympathy simply says that you hope that they do well, you hope that they overcome, but they're on their own. Empathy says, I know what you're going through, I've been there, I'm going to help you through, and you're not there by yourself. So we're going to make sure that the positive outcome.
Well, see, that's one of the things that I do here in Missouri with the chamber, and you remember, you kind of see something that I be doing that, like in Kansas City, like here in St. Louis, next month on the 22nd, we have a fishing derby at Jerry Wabash Park, you know, and Chinese saying that, you know, if I show you how to fish, okay, you can feed yourself for a lifetime. Or unless I give you a piece of fish. And so now with the fishing derby there, and now I'm just surprised how many adults I come across, okay, say, I don't know how to fish. You know what I mean? I remember a young man, you know, successful businessman I talked to him, he said, some folks, I'm going to feed my son, but guess what? I don't know how to fish my own stuff, okay? You know, and so, and through us working with the American Outdoors, one of our members in Kansas City, this is our 4th year, and we were doing this on an annual basis until the pandemic hit. So now we're trying to research the program, and we have fishing poles that we're giving out to the young people. So for them to, you know, not just fish that day, okay, but they can take that fishing pole and feed their family for a lifetime. Fishing poles are not cheap.
Fishing poles and learning to fish and being in that environment also tickles the entrepreneurial activity among some people. You know, who knows that they might come up with a better fishing pole or better bait or better ways to fish. Who knows? We eat fish, that's for sure.
Well, you know, another thing I'm going to say here with Reverend Lyles here, with Reverend Brown, that the Bible tells us that the people that were his disciples were fishermen.
Yep, that's true.
Okay, and so now, by teaching these young people, okay, we're going to basics. And there's no cost for them but to show up in Jerry Wabash Park by 8:30 that Saturday morning. That's, you know, on Ferguson, Missouri, and we have the mayor and matter of fact, the mayor. I know what used since we first got out for fishing derby, but at that time, the Mayor Jones now was just the Councilwoman Jones in those days, and she was at our fishing derby. And also in those days, Senator Brian Williams was working for Congressman Clay in those days. And so now he's a senator now. So we have seen our young people grow up, okay, that was into Derby with us and stuff. got his son and brought them back to the Fishing Derby. Yeah. And so that's why I said, we're doing our best through the chamber to reach out all we can, and make a difference. So the Derby, like you said, okay, teach them entrepreneurship. Now they can make money through their fishing pole that we give them. And that can make a difference in somebody's life, okay, that they will be able to feed themselves or feed their family later on in life and become fishermen. We've been joined now by Mr. Chuck DeVoe, our CEO of the National Chamber of Commerce. Chuck, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. Beautiful afternoon and a very happy Memorial Weekend to everyone.
Chuck, thank you, sir. Chuck, we got the Reverend Larry Brown, one of our members, on the program. We talked about several things. One, to give you an update, his daughter was featured this past week. I think I sent you a clip, okay, on CBS News about a speaker candidate under Brown versus the Board of Education that changed all of our lives for the good. And so today he's our guest. And one thing we just started talking about when you came on here is our annual fishing derby that we started again here in St. Louis. About how that fishing derby is able to, to change a person's life, in that you teach them about business. Because all the Christ followers initially, were fishermen, and that we have seen the fishing derby come back now in St. Louis, where we give them free poles. And you saw the fishing derby up in D.C., haven't you?
Yes, sir. But it's a lot of fun, but it has values that maybe we kind of take for granted through the years. It's the kind of thing that a child never forgets when they go with their parents or friends or family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they carry on good memories. So right now we have our fishing derby and the derby again after the pandemic. On the 22nd of June, that we'll be back in January, Paul. We'll be able to make fishing poles to all those people, kids show up, okay? And also they gotta be parents, somebody gotta be with them. They can't come by themselves. And enjoying it, like you just said, there's a camaraderie that it teaches them about the basic things about what we're doing. And in fact, Reverend Brown, I tell you something that Chuck probably won't tell you, okay, that our CEO of the National Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Chuck DeVoe, also the CEO, president, I should say, of several other organizations that we have created through the chamber. But the one thing, okay, he is a fisherman of people himself. As he goes, he's always fishing places and people follow Chuck. Am I right, Mr. DeVoe?
I see we're connecting the dots. Yeah, I believe we are in our self-efficacy. We're conveners. We are unite by way of welcoming. Everybody's welcome.
Okay.
And the dialogue opens, and that's where we usually come out with the best approach, the best knowledge, the best data, the best, because we're trying to talk to everybody. We don't exclude people. That's what you're referring to is the National Alliance of Black Business. And it was co-founded by the National Black Chamber of Commerce, the National Business League, and the World Conference of Mayors. It's founded upon the principles and teachings of Booker T. Washington,
well, Chuck, and that's the thing that in between now and last year we had our first conference we ever had. Okay, was put together by you and Dr. Harris. Dr. Harris. And Dr. Harris, okay, and I think in less than 4 months, I think we put the conference together, and we had people from all around the world, almost 2,000 people, black people showed up. They were like-minded, that left them with some receipts in their pockets, okay, or their brains, I should say, that they can see how black can work together and get something done. And they all felt that they were part of something that was great. That was the first time, and they were there to see it in action, that no matter what part of the world you came from, not from what neighbors were, not from what city, not from what state, but from what country you came from, and we all believe the same, we all walk the same, we all have the same need. And I commend you and Dr. Harris for doing a unbelievable job of making a reality that now even the city of Atlanta is seeing how they want to be a part of what started off, okay, as an idea that could be done, and now it is flourishing and about to become a traditional gathering in the city of Atlanta. But then they want to be able to be a part of what the National Chamber of Commerce and that's business they have created. Now, Chuck, explain to us, okay, the relationship between the business league and the National Chamber of Commerce.
The two organizations are both nonprofit. Booker T was the founder of the National Business League, and they are, in fact, 124 years old. We are focused. We're a federation of chambers of commerce as a premise to our organization. That's why it's called the National Black Chamber of Commerce, and our members make up not only chambers of commerce, but business owners, corporations, and global businesses. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. Our focus on education, training, and support advocacy is on black business. But we're still in that money hungry. Our goal is we're dealing with gold, but it is all about entrepreneurial pursuit for economic empowerment throughout the diaspora. So we're out to empower people by economics, and we believe that.
Chuck, we said diaspora. Break that down because people don't understand that word.
Well, it's pretty easy to explain for Afro descendants. I mean, that right there tells you what. So, but the surprising thing about it is now, we're talking. You and I, we kind of debate a little bit about history versus real history. You start getting into why are the noses missing off the Sphinx in Egypt? I mean, obviously, there's some stuff now about there's some black Japanese. The Mongolians, and you start getting into it, but nonetheless, you start looking at Afrocentric DNA throughout the world, and that represents the diaspora. So you can get very, very specific and very high common DNA, like if you just talk about the Maroons. The Maroons were really the slaves that had a lot of commonality. Most of it was West Africa, and a lot of it is between Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, along that west coast, Sierra Leone, Senegal, even those francophones. You can even kind of go down and where the languages were, and that's where the slaves went. So you get down in Brazil and down through Latin and South America. But really what we're talking about to get to it is we're talking about doing business with each other. Like, when you put a bunch of Americans or South Americans or
what happened in Atlanta, okay? It was like a rainbow of people, okay? And then we had different sessions, okay? All over the hotel, and everywhere you went, one thing that we all had in common till they spoke, okay? You know they were American after the way it came from.
Yeah,
We all
yeah, and you get some of our American brothers and sisters that like to dress up like the African. And
right.
So they brought up on a real Africa, and then like, yeah, okay, we see you, you know. But this is the theme of what we're doing. You talk about unification of souls, and that's one of the things I did have. Man, I had a great experience. I went fishing in Kenya, and yeah, it was So we're talking about fishing, and and I love your bringing it to reality of that was God's primary entrepreneurism and establishment. Yeah, everybody was fishing, but nonetheless, it is a common thing. No matter where you go in the world or whatever, it's a thing. Everybody understands. Everybody can get into it, and we can all find some common ground. I mean, even something simple like basketball and soccer, those are easy to kind of sit down and kind of break bread together. Or music, dance, culture. That's when we can get along within our cultures and have a respect and appreciation for it. It's not so hard to do business with each other.
It's not, and it's easier than you think.
I'm sorry I have to leave the conversation, but there are even black Jews.
Yeah, it's controversial as it is. But you know what? Would you like to leave us with some comments? I'm sorry that you didn't realize you had to cut it short.
I think we're on the right track. Actually, if everyone respected everyone else, we would come a long, long way. And I think that is what you're saying too. And we have said that from the school system. And we're saying that maybe now that we can't just impose a culture. We have to show the individual that we really respect the individual who's becoming a part of the culture.
Reverend Brown, let me put that in a nutshell. A gentleman that's dead now, but the late Rodney King, he said some words that stayed in my mind. Can we all just get along?
Okay.
So,
Right.
And I think that's the thing that we all strive for. That can we just get along with each other? And the other take care of itself. Am I right, Chuck?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Reverend Brown, thank you for your time, okay? And we will be talking to you later on today, okay? Is he going already? Let me see. Yeah, he's going already, okay. So go ahead, Chuck. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. When you said I never. It really meant, can y'all get along with others? We get along. Right.
Right, I think
That's really what I was thinking, but that's a whole nother.
But Chuck, now's the time. We look to you as a leader, okay? As we as black men come together and create dialogue. Out of that dialogue, different definitions, okay, on what Rodney King just said. So please don't veer that. What did that cross your mind? What you were saying?
Well, it's really that's what we're saying, but in this case, they see, I think up until not too long ago, I said last 5 years or so, or no, I tell you what, when Ghana held their year of return. That's what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
They invited African Americans to come home, come back. That's how they said it, man. That thing hits so hard. I mean, hits so well profitability wise. It got the message now. Lived at the bottom line, the profitability of it. Said, no, this makes money. This is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
We down with that because they made $1 billion for a country that, you know, that's big money for an African country to make it on tourism. Well, that was several years ago, and now there's one place in Africa for African American dollars of investment. And I heard this really
You're cranking up. You're walking around. You're kind of cranking up.
try to make sure everybody here is strong signal.
Okay. You okay to go ahead?
Let me launch here. There's a lot of investment going on that we just start getting another place to live or a second real estate or residential investment, and start to come about in places like Ghana. But that's kind of like, can we get along? Not only can we get along, we can make some money together, or we can have a safe haven, a safe harbor.
Right. And I think that's the whole thing, sir, that I'm saying, can we get along? But if we get along, we can do business together. We can live together. We can respect each other. And I think the thing that Barney Key, he had been beat, you know, and his life changed, I mean, disfigured and everything. But at the end of the day, he's saying that, you know, in his heart, for him to say something like that is profound. And I think to me, when I look at my people, which is all of our people, you know, I don't look at just color, I look at people. You know, one of the things you don't know, like we just said, you can be Chinese, you can be Jewish, you can be some everything, but out of that part of the country, okay, a lot of people came out of that country and went other places, and then they made it with other people. You know what I mean? And they had children. Like one of the problems that people
see now I will preach. Look out, get ready, because that's what today's reality is.
Right, and I mean,
you up here talking to somebody, you don't know who their daddy is or their mama.
Thank you. Right.
You know, and I'm telling you that you can't just, everybody can't be eyeballed like that. I grew up like, I'm light complected. There's a lot of people love, especially white folks, that thought I was mulatto or something. I said, well, that's a little bit something different there. You know, I said, you got to go back a few generations before you start getting to that point. Yeah, because that's what it is. With Afro descendants, you get that little bit of dip. You know, I forgot the legal percentages. If you want to call yourself white, you have to have so much percentage or so minimal of impurities as it's perceived in you. Be black, you just need a little bit. So everybody's black. Some of these people they don't even know it. Some of them don't even know it yet.
Now, I think the DNA has that has changed, ancestry changed. A lot of people's thoughts about their lives, about who their family really is. Because, well, like I said,
one thing for sure, you can go to bed tonight and wake up tomorrow and say, I want to be gay. I want to be a minority. I want to be a disadvantaged business. You can do everything, but one thing you can't do is wake up and say, I want to be white. But if you're a white woman, you can come in and say, well, I'm a minority. You know, or if I'm gay or whatever. So, you know, you could be white, woman, gay, and get 3 different discounts right there.
5 minutes, gentlemen.
You know, Aaron, y'all.
yeah.
Now that color about white, well, leprosy is the only thing that's white. Everything else is different colors.
I always consider myself peachy.
Okay, Scott,
But you know, Scott, and that's a good point, Scott, because we should be able to kind of identify ourselves, or identify as you please. But that wasn't the whole. I didn't mean to take the conversation over there. We were just
No, that's okay. No.
Cultures being able to work with each other.
It's all good.
but no, so this is the holiday weekend, okay? That for right now, all of you that died in World War I, all of the past wars, okay, that we honored, okay, they all came from different nationalities, okay, but they all gave the biggest price, okay, served our country no matter what nationality. Because my father, he probably passed for white, but when he fought in the World War I, he had to be classified as French. But he didn't want black. He was black, okay, in our country, but he fought about the French flag. Because he was just that light, okay, you know what I'm saying, complected. Then that's how he had to fight in the war. So I mean, so now, but still, he's in the graveyard, the cemetery, or someplace I know where, and I've been there before. But a lot of you had the same thing, but they all, like Scott just said, they're peachy. I mean, we all are happy to be associated with somebody that's, you know, that we can say, well, our parents, our grandparents. And I go back to him what Rodney King said, we all just get along and be for real with each other. And you'd be surprised, okay, when people speak, I say, you don't know nobody until they speak, you know, the slightest idea who they are, what nationality they are. You know, some of the black people you ever want to meet in your life, okay, they speak better than some white professors. You know, some with white people, whites, you know what I'm saying, they speak like a brother, huh? Am I right, Chuck?
You're absolutely right, but I mean that's the other thing about it. The reality is how we live it. It isn't matter what government says or what guidelines they use or however. I mean, we're out here getting along every day in life, and I'm gonna integrate or expand this conversation out a little bit. So when you're watching the news, and I just saw something last night because I hadn't been paying attention to the news so much. So there's a guy in the military, and he's in special operations or special services or something outside of I think it's Fort Bragg or somewhere in North Carolina. And he sees a man over his hedges, and I guess he had good sized yard or something. He said maybe about 2 acres. He saw somebody videotaping and filming him and his family. And he confronted him or went over there to him